Tommy's gonna taste the gin so that you don't have to. Let you save your money, yeah, that's what Tommy wants. Minimal dilution, cause we wanna taste the gins. But if the gins are bad, then we will throw them in the bin. Now let's hand it over to Tommy, who is gonna taste. He's gonna get all rowdy and shout up the place. Guten Tag, and welcome back to Tommy Taste, the channel where I taste the gin so that you don't have to. And this week, it's a double gin bonanza, courtesy of Mampe gin. First of all, the Kreuzberg 61, and second, the Kudam 15. These are native Berlin gins, from a distillery that's been producing spirits since 1852. Due to the inconvenience of a little thing called war, which may have happened in Berlin, they were forced to shut down production, but then came back with a bang as of 2012, and came out with these two styles of gin. Given my experience with German gin, what will these be like? Let the coin toss decide the fate of shit or phenomenal. So Germans are really quite obsessed with things like herbal liqueurs, which Mampe kind of specialises in, so if you like bitter minging brown spirits, these are your guys. Or, alternately, the other thing that Germans love is the extreme amount of money that they will pay for schnapps that are pear or strawberry flavoured, and I can assure you, taste like arse. So not a great setup for both of these gins, but will they win me round with exactly what they are? I think it's time that we taste and find out. Drawing our attention first to the Kreuzberg 61 gin. This is a gin that could not be more Berlin in style. It's supposed to be more of a contemporary take on exactly what gin is. So all of its botanicals are sourced from Berlin and the surrounding region of Brandenburg. This includes things like currants, rose hips, blueberries and peppermint, which is already making me concerned on the basis that I'm expecting this could be like a minty skin gin or a hideous berry Brockman's. Let's whack this in a glass and find out. So let's let the berry minty bonanza of Kreuzberg 61 gin commence. Prost! This has a really interesting nose on it. The peppermint and the blueberries do not overwhelm it. There is something certainly menthol and there is something like little kind of sweet berry aromas, but it is a bit juniper forward. It's really dark and well layered. It feels very forest-like in its makeup, which is kind of true to Berlin and the surrounding area. This is like swampland in Berlin that's surrounded by massive pine forests, and I get that kind of smell from it. This is a terroir gin in a city that is not really famous for its terroir at all, on account of most places in Berlin smelling like a mixture of piss, BO and fags. And that's a gin coming up next year. Let's have a little taste and see if that follows through. I mean, wow. This is like no other gin that I've ever really had. It is juniper forward, it is punchy, it's woody, earthy, piney. There's a little bit of citrus, but then you get the rose hip, something that I'm not a fan of, but it works really well to give this some light floral notes. You get the berries, you get the menthol. It's really fresh and the finish is so long. Let's get a little bit of ice in there and just see if it kind of opens it up or leaves it to some change at all. Now this is exactly what you'd want skin gin or Brockman's to be if you're not a teenager. There is such nice, fresh menthol notes in this, and there's nice crunchy berry flavours as well. Real wackery wine term there, but there are. Then you get the juniper. It's so dark, it's so well layered. Now it's 43%, so it should stand up to dilution relatively well. Regardless, let's just get a splash of tonic in there and see if it does.
Super! Servus! Bravo! Wunderbar!
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but to be honest, the gin really stands out most when it's neat or on ice. The Kreuzberg 61 has to be one of the best German gins I've tried. Obviously, Needle Masterpiece is still going to be the crowning glory. It will take a long time for me to find a German gin that is comparable to that. And Monkey 47 is so internationally renowned. But for the price point of this gin, which is approximately 20 to 25 euros for a 500 milliliter bottle, this is spectacular. And with both of these gins, not only do you get these great stone Krug-like bottles, it's got a great kind of wax seal on the top that you can see there, a nice wooden cork, and a fantastic gap year elephant bracelet that comes with it.
Yeah, because I'm literally in Burma. Yeah, no, I'm on my gap year at the moment. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
I think it looks like a really cool bottle. For 20 to 25 euros, you cannot go wrong. So how does the sister gin, the Kudam 15, compare? This is much more of a classic style of gin. The recipe for this is based on the golden era of the 20s in Berlin, where Weimar Republic was at its height and gin drinking was really popular in the city. Doesn't have anything out of the ordinary in terms of its botanicals. I'm expecting this to be juniper lead, citrus, spicy, fresh. Let's whack it in a glass and have a little taste. Once again, the Kudam is somewhere between 20 and 25 euros. So this is not a bank-breaking gin. This is not something that will be necessarily any better or worse than the Kreuzberg 61. It's simply a comparative style of gin. Let's whack our nose in there and have a little smell. As a classic gin lover, I absolutely love the nose on this gin. It is juniper forward, it's citrusy, it's spicy, but again, it's so well layered. It does feel, compared to the 61 Kreuzberg, an absolute walk in the park by comparison, because it's just so easy to kick back and enjoy this style. Let's have a taste. This is a no-frills gin in terms of what it is. It takes classic, but it does it so well. It's fresh, really kind of like crisp and refreshing on your palate. I absolutely love this. It's really clean and so well made. The Mampe distillery obviously are great at making spirits. Despite the fact that I may hate herbal liqueurs and fruit schnapps and nasty shit like that, these gins are to die for. For the price, I can't believe that they're as good as they are. And this is obviously what Germany does so well, because it has less tax when it comes to spirits. So they can make something that's such high quality for so cheap that simply in the UK is just not possible. If both of these were to be made available in the UK, I think they'd be £40 gins. The quality you get from 20 to 25 euros is truly outstanding. Let's pop a little bit of ice in there and see if it changes classic in any way, shape or form. It's more of the same. The floral perfume maybe jumps out a little more here to me, but this is not necessarily a terroir gin. This is just a classic, fantastic style of gin, and just shows what the Mampe distillery can do and how well they can emulate classic flavours. Just a splash of tonic in there. Again, this one is slightly stronger than the Kreuzberg 61. The Kudam 15 here is 44%. Lovely, perfect drinking ABV. Let's have a little taste. And let's just take a moment of silence so that we don't have to listen to any more German music. The gin cuts through really pleasantly, but again, as with the Kreuzberg, just don't even bother. The Kudam works perfectly when you just have it neat or with ice. So you might not be able to find either of these gins in the UK, or for that matter, outside of Berlin or Germany. However, Ryanair do cheap flights to this city. Come here, you will not be disappointed, and make sure that you get some checked baggage so that you can take these home with you. And whilst you're here, you get to live the Berlin lifestyle. You get to pretend that techno is a passable form of music, and you get to queue 3 hours to have a €5 croissant, which is totally not worth it. Who could possibly refuse such a great experience of a grey city? Hey!
Yeah, like and subscribe, girl.
Like and subscribe. subscribe. What? Like and subscribe. Work it out, right?